I guess you'll be
I don't know if
paying
there's
more
that.
attention during this section.
Well, not what's being paying attention. I just can't remember names that much.
You don't have to use names. You can make up your own names. Can you? Now,
What, for the name of the thingy?
for the name, I gave you the name of the thingy. You just need to figure out an example of it.
Oh, that's close.
Really? Now, if the spiritual works of mercy,
It's within you.
spiritual involves things of your soul, what do you think corporal involves?
Life.
Life. Physical. All of these, the corporal works of mercy have to do with the physical. So the 7 corporal works of mercy are things that we can physically do to help others. Well, the spiritual things we can physically do to help others too, because we need to be physical in order to talk. But these are things like, you'll see what I mean. So the first one, feed the hungry. So what are some ways that we can feed the hungry? Yes.
Buy like $20 worth of food each month and then bring it to a donation center.
Correct. The most common way of feeding the hungry is to donate food.
Or give a homeless person $5.
Or give money to the people that are on the streets with signs. But also there's other ways of feeding the hungry, because again, even
Inviting
though...
them into your house.
Correct. And also, even though the corporal works of mercy involve physical things, they also still kind of tie into their soul. So while somebody may be
You can
getting...
also pray that the world starts feeding the hungry too.
Right. And not only that, but just because the person is hungry does not automatically mean they're out of food. They could be spiritually hungry. They could be looking for everything. Today we celebrate the feast of St. Mary Magdalene. She was looking for love in all the wrong places because she was a prostitute, some legends say. And she finally found God and discovered that, God does not want that kind of life for her. It's the same thing with feeding the hungry of the world. Yes, we can feed them physically by giving them money for food or donating food to the food pantry. But it's also helping people that you can clearly see are yearning for something deeper than bread and wine. They're longing for something that can sustain their souls. And that is something that us Christians are supposed to do as well. Same thing with number 2. Which is give drink to the thirsty. Same idea. You can donate water. If you're walking on a hot day and you have an extra bottle of water and someone does not, give it to them. Because everybody knows in the heat you need water to sustain yourself. And, sometimes if you're a runner or a walker or you're out in the heat a lot and you carry like a lunch pail of 20 or 30 small water bottles, give one to them. Some people, they might have been just easy and left without it. Some people might be homeless and they're walking in the heat and they don't have water to drink. Stop and buy them something if you feel pulled in that direction. Pull into a McDonald's and then buy an extra meal and give it to them out the window. The possibilities are endless to fill these in both physical and spiritual ways. Now this one,
Shelter.
yes, shelter the homeless. This one, a lot of your conscious Catholics will ignore because in today's world, let's face it, you have to be realistic. Do we really want a homeless person in our house? Will the homeless person steal our stuff? Because unfortunately, today, the world is not the way it was back in the 1950s and the 1930s and the 1920s, where everybody was kind to each other and they could trust the homeless to spend the night on their porch or spend the night in their spare bedroom and not take anything. Heck, back then they probably said, you know what, if you'll watch my kids, you can live here. But today, let's face it, the world stinks right now and you can't trust anybody. demographics will have trouble with this one, and they'll say, well, isn't that what a homeless shelter is for? Yes. But unfortunately, in a big city like Manchester, the homeless shelter is not enough. You have to get at those doors by 6 o'clock if you want a bed.
I know, I spent the night at a homeless shelter.
Yeah. And if you're not there, if you have a job, but you can't afford rent, that's another common misconception with homeless people, is they think all homeless people don't have a job. Honestly, some homeless people do have a job, but their job is minimum wage, and their job is not enough money to hold down a rent payment. Because rent today is $500 a month or more.
One night, it's like 700.
Right, but if it's like a one-bedroom apartment, it's usually a little bit cheaper. Sometimes. That's I said usually, not always. Stop correcting the teacher.
You're thinking more like a studio for 500.
Well, right, but I'm just saying 500 and up.
Oh.
You know, there's no more. When we lived on Winter Street, we paid $125 a week. That's gone. You can barely ever find a weekly renter anymore. All high amounts, and it's all in a month. So a lot of homeless people actually do have jobs. Some of them are not working because they're too far gone to focus on a job. They could be been homeless for so long that they no longer have a mind of their own. Like the ones that we see around here sometimes that are talking to themselves as they're walking with their big bucket of garbage.
Or Mr. Jacket with 20 jackets on him.
Right. You know, some people honestly cannot handle a job, and that is why they're homeless. But there are people that do work at, I don't know, McDonald's or something with a minimum wage, and they have to leave work and go live in a cardboard box because they cannot afford rent. Because, and you know, nowadays you need references and you need a background check, and let's face it, if you're homeless, no one's going to give you a reference because most homeless people have no family either, or their family has, for some reason, disowned them and no longer cares, or their family lives somewhere else. They don't have any references. They can use their job as a reference, but that's one reference out of how many that these renters want. Plus, not only do you have to pay rent, you have to pay a security deposit, which is more money when you first rent an apartment. So these homeless people might go from work to work to work, but they don't have the money to buy an apartment. So, you know, there's other ways that we can shelter the homeless. By donating to homeless shelters, by, you know, and obviously if you're in a position of leadership, like if there's a mayor out there that for some reason comes across my class and here's this section, buy an apartment building that's gutted out completely and turn it into what's that word?
Homeless shelter?
No, transition housing. There we go. Where for people that are actively working towards trying to save money, but if they are in an environment that they feel is safe, they will start to feel better about themselves, and they will start to learn how to do things correctly. That is something that especially major cities like Manchester and Concord need to start doing. They need to start finding these apartment buildings that nobody wants to buy, find somebody that'll take care of them, fix them up, and have them be transitional housing. But that makes too much sense, and nobody thinks that way. But, you know,
no, it's too much pocket. It's too much money out of the governor's pocket.
Yeah, that they are spending foolishly on other things. Like putting up signs that say Vernon Heights, because we really care. We know where we are. Thank you. The next one, again, is obvious as to what we can do. Clothing the naked, donate to clothes centers. Also, another thing that fits under this category, clothing the naked. Also, if you stop going to, I'm not saying stop completely, because let's face it, it's nice to have nice clothes from a JCPenney or a Macy's. But instead of buying, automatically heading to Macy's and JCPenney's and paying the big bucks, go to your thrift stores that are owned by nonprofits, because it might be a small amount, but still, there's a small amount of money that goes from each purchase that goes towards helping that organization. For example, Family Outfitters is one that we have here.
Goodwill.
Goodwill. Goodwill is pretty much found around the country. Family Outfitters, I'm not sure, but Goodwill is
Family
around.
Outfitters is run by Family in Transition.
Right, so that's probably just a New Hampshire thing. But Goodwill is everywhere.
New England, more or less.
Yeah. But I'm sure other states have their own version of it. It's just called something else.
Yeah.
Savers, I'm not too sure which company they're with, but they are also the same thing.
Yeah, they're just like Goodwill, but they're twice as expensive.
Yeah. But if you shop at these kind of places, a portion of your purchase goes towards whatever company they're supporting. Family Outfitters goes to Families in Transition. Goodwill goes to a group of homeless people. I don't know.
With Family Outfitters, I've actually tried to work in there, and it actually goes, all of it goes to Fit.
Families in Transition,
Fit,
yeah.
yeah, because Fit owns it.
Right. So if you exchange your normal shopping of clothes from high-end retailers like Macy's and replace them with the
Even Walmart.
Walmart, yeah, but I'm not sure if Walmart's money goes towards anything. Walmart's money goes towards Walmart. I'm talking about if people want to complete their clothing the naked and they shop at these places, some of their purchase money goes towards an organization that does this for a living. Walmart, it just goes into the Walmart pocket. But yes, also if you spend less money buying clothes, you can give more money to charities. So yeah, that makes sense too. Number, oopsie, I kind of drew over number 5, 6, and 7. So we'll just go up here and do it. Learning how to use the marker board. 5 is visit the 6. Now, again, with the way the world is today, it's not the same as it used to be. It's not the same as the episode on Golden Girls where anybody could just walk into someone's hotel or hospital room and go, hey, what's up? My name's Mandy and I'm here to cheer you up today. You honestly can't do that now because it's going to feel awkward and there's security reasons. But I believe some hospitals still have visiting hours where, or nursing homes especially, will welcome visitors. You can come in there and play a game, teach them a game. Before Aubrey became a jerk, we were going to go to teach to all of the elderly homes, the one down here, the one down there, and the one over by Walgreens, and we were going to teach them how to play Bonko and have a Bonko night or a Bonko day. But then he became a jerk and that ended that. But that counts as visiting the sick, because let's face it, visiting the sick doesn't honestly have to mean that they're dying. They can be mentally ill, they can be a little slow, or just old and neglected, left behind. Also, visiting the sick could be, some nursing homes have them, I'm not sure if any of them around here do, but some have programs where you can write to somebody in that nursing home and they will respond and you can have a pen buddy from the nursing home that nobody writes to, that nobody cares about, and you just write back and forth. I'm not sure if any of the New Hampshire nursing homes do it. The Veterans Home might, I'm not sure.
Contact them, I'd love to do that.
Yeah, I'll see if any of them do around here. You know, just something like that that gives them something to look forward to. Just think of like an old lady after 5 years of not getting any mail finally gets a letter from somebody. Do you know how excited that woman is going to be? That somebody, even though you're like 24, somebody is still paying attention to her. And that is something that's important. That's one of this Corporal Works of Mercy, and it's one of the important ones because the elderly do not get paid attention to anymore. We're in a society now where when they reach a certain age, the kids are like, please, nursing home, we have our life to live, we don't want mom around us. That's the way society is nowadays. Or they live together, the husband dies, they've been married 60 years, the wife automatically has to go to the nursing home because the kids don't want to deal with her. That's the way the society is today, and that's not acceptable for anybody. It should be acceptable for anybody, but especially not for Catholics. Catholics, we're responsible for those souls. Not like, if they die, we're not going to be like, we killed them. But, you know what I mean. They are a part of us, and we need to focus on them. Number 6 is another one that is questionable.
Visit the dying?
No. Visit the imprisoned. Again, security reasons nowadays in jails, it's not as easy to get in to visit them unless you know somebody in there.
Know if they're that psycho or...
Well, not only that, but a lot of prisons now are automatically secured. Like, normally you can't go in there unless you know somebody that's in there. Otherwise they're going to be like, what the frick are you doing here? Because let's face it, who in their right mind wants to randomly say, look up in the morning and go, I think I'm going to go visit people
Well,
in jail today.
that's how Andrew's parents met. His mom's brother was in prison, and that was his dad was his roommate or cellmate.
It does happen, but today it's a lot different than it was even 20 years ago. It's a lot different today than it was in the 1990s. Because of the way the world is.
We're old.
Yes, very good. You figured that out. Okay, here's an example of really how old we are. If we were a vehicle, we could get classic plates. Classic, antique. Once a car hits 25 years old, you can be called an antique car. I actually think it's 20, but it might be 25. Yes, we're old. We got it. So if you can't physically go to a jail due to security reasons, what are some ways do you think we can visit the imprisoned?
Mail them.
Mail them, exactly. Visit them through snail mail. Also, with these two,
email.
Well, email is questionable with inmates because I don't think they have a lot of time on a computer.
I think I got like an hour.
But with these two specifically, visiting the sick and visiting the imprisoned, turn to your church because a lot of churches have ministries that involve this. If you're Catholic and has been okay to become a Eucharistic minister,
what's that?
Which is the person that passes out communion, or the croutons and the wine, you can go to, usually it's hospitals and nursing homes, but I think they go to prisons too. And you can give them communion and spend time with them. I used to do that for a period of time until I was let go. Visiting the imprisoned. In Catholic religions, there are prison ministries. For example, the New Hampshire one is called Kairos, and it takes place at the Concord prison. It's a weekend thing, 1 weekend a month. Catholic ministers go in there and spend the whole weekend with the prison inmates and just try to get them to learn about God. If they're Catholic, they can have confession. They have Mass once a month. They have musicians that go in there, and they make it like a retreat. It's really cool. These are all things that you can get involved in if you just ask your parish, ask your church what they have available for ministries.
Ice cream after this?
Yes, after class, yes.
Yay!
And number 7 is an example that many people go,
Bury the living?
Bury the dead. Because, and the reason why people go, say what? Is because they are thinking, because that's the way humans are, is we think with our human brain, they go, how can we physically bury the dead? Isn't that the funeral director's job?
We volunteer to help bury it.
Yes.
That,
Volunteer.
or we pay for it.
Well, actually, what they were more getting towards this is volunteerism.
Well, you can pay for it.
You can, yes.
If you're a rich person and you just
You're a rich
once
person.
a year you pay for some
Somebody's
homeless
funeral,
person to
yeah.
be buried.
Right. Volunteerism is the key to this one, though. That is a good example, paying for a
funeral.
person's funeral. Obviously, that's not everyone is called to that. That's why they don't focus on that one. But volunteerism, again, ask your church. Every Catholic church usually has something called a bereavement ministry. I'm writing this down because I know you want ice cream.
Who wants ice cream?
You do.
Oh. Does
Bereavement.
Mom want some?
Oh, I'm sure she does too.
And I know that you do too.
Yes. A bereavement ministry. Many Catholic churches have it. They may not have the full ministry that helps plan the funeral, but they do have the food portion. After a funeral mass is over and the family goes to the cemetery, everybody comes back to the church and there's a big meal downstairs called a mercy meal. That is one way that you can help to bury the dead. Other people who have musical talents can donate their musical talents towards singing at funerals or playing at funerals if they play the guitar or the piano or the organ.
It's very rare for someone to actually pay for a funeral.
It is very rare because, let's face it, if you have the money to pay for somebody else's funeral, you would pay off your own and then have it all ready when you're done. But there are some who I've heard of, they cough up some money and say this homeless person deserves to die dignified, and this is money that we have saved.
Which I'm guarantee you most of the time they probably get cremated and then the urn gets buried.
Yeah, because now a lot of cemeteries don't have a flower field anymore, which is where they used to put the people that were considered unknown. They didn't have family, they didn't have whatever. So bereavement ministry is the big volunteering with burying the dead. So if you have a musical talent, you can go to your nearest funeral home and sign up to be a singer for the funeral. And that's Dustin, the one lonely student that I have. So now the class.
Not only you three, though.
Now the class is over, and I will give him his test, and I will see you next week. Next week, our lesson is on the Mass and the wonderful gift of adoration that Catholics have. Unfortunately, you guys will not be able to join us on our field trip because, quite frankly, I'm not carrying my laptop to the field trip location. So you will get a class lesson next week, but you will miss out on the field trip. So I will see you next week for the Mass and adoration.